Hello everyone and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Top 10. It's that time again, the season of scary surprises, the hollow and horrifying holiday of Halloween. Halloween brings with it a lot of strange occurrences. People dress up in weird costumes, try to scare one another, and ask strangers for candy. But throughout these spooky nights, the true Magic players amongst us will still be headed to their local stores to play a few games. Now, just because we choose to play Magic rather than have quote-unquote fun, doesn't mean we don't celebrate the spirit of this holiday. Last year, I examined the top 10 scariest Magic cards, but luckily, Magic's a game with no shortage of creepy cards. So with that, let's take a look at another top 10 scariest cards found in Magic the Gathering. Number 10. At number 10, we have Mind Rot. While some incarnations of this delightfully devilish card have been more strange than disturbing, the Return to Ravnica edition cemented this card's position in the creepy category. A hollowed out head for a hallowed evening, am I right, ghouls and ghosts? In all seriousness, this card scores some huge horror points, with great detail on the inside of this poor soul's head, taking center stage with added creepiness from the soulless temple and priest, damning this mindless sheep to a life of servitude. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is Cold-Eyed Selkie. If you're a fan of movies like The Ring or The Grudge, you already understand why this card has taken the number 9 spot on this year's list. There's something about pupilless eyes that have always rubbed me the wrong way. It's so unnatural and so lifeless, just really unsettling. The creature in this card reveals just enough to get you spooked and fearing what else could lie at the bottom of that innocent but murky water. Number 8. Coming in at number 8 on the list is Mutilate. No psychological or pseudo-horror here, folks. Mutilate's just a good old-fashioned gore fest. As I mentioned in last year's video, melting flesh, yeah, that's a thing that gets me. I can just imagine looking down at my hands and seeing the flesh slide off like a piece of half-melted cheese. Yummy. Food references aside, this card's art is more likely to make you lose your appetite. The skin falling formlessly from this man's face. It's the stuff nightmares are made of. Number 7. At number 7, we have some juicy torture art. Fans of the Saw series will understand the massively disturbing scars which can be found in torture scenes. Organ Grinder is no different, only in this instance it's a bloody, disgusting, gas-breathing monster scientist doing the torturing, as if it couldn't get any worse. His collection of human skeletons and torture table shows you this guy is no amateur, and you can only imagine this poor man's fear as he struggles to comprehend the vast horrors he's about to endure. Number 6. At number 6 we have Tividar's Crusade. Angry mobs, they're not your typical horror trope unless you're talking about the Purge. It's not something I personally find scary, and I live in Baltimore. But this card's disturbing on so many different levels. It has the gore from the goblin's intestines freely dangling from its abdomen. It has a sense of religious fanaticism, which I find disturbing. The people depicted in this card are just creepy and off-putting with black eyes and wrinkled features. I know they're most likely the good guys, you know, taking out the goblins and all, but you can't help but feel like these people and their method of dealing with goblins is a little left up. I mean, we all hate goblin decks, but this is taking it too far. Number 5. Making it to the halfway point on our list is Mind Maggots. Bugs, yeah, everyone's favorite. Last year, a lot of people commented about Mind Maggots and were curious as to why it didn't make my list. Well, here it is, and I hope you're all happy with yourselves. Mind Maggots is just a gross concept. Bugs crawling on you, under your skin, but in your ear and brain? That's a shivering prospect indeed. Seriously, can you imagine having a maggot in your ear? I bet everyone watching this video experienced the chills and scratched their ear instinctively. What gets me about this card's art is how the longer I look at it, the more I start to see the maggots moving. I know I'm just psyching myself out, but I really don't like it. Number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Razor Pendulum. This card depicts a very classic horror trope, the swinging pendulum. A form of torture so horrible, just thinking about it is making me uneasy. Not only is this man about to be slowly sliced in half by a swinging saw, but on top of that, he's completely naked. So he has nothing to hide the gory details of his demise. All laid bare and all terrifying. What's only a little less scary than this card's art is the card's effect. An artifact that deals 2 damage to a player who's already under 5? Now that's terrifyingly bad. Number 3. Coming in at number 3 is Mind Stab Thrall. Just look at this thing. 4 arms, no legs, no body to speak of, and a knife. There's an arm growing out of the back of its head, for God's sake. This is seriously a disturbing creature. It's twisted, and plays against our fears of misshapen human forms perfectly. I can picture waking up in the middle of the night to see this thing crawling on the floor at the foot of my bed, inching ever closer, rusty instrument in hand. It looks like something from a Tim Burton film, but a lot scarier, easily making it to this year's top 3 scariest cards. Number 2. Making it to number 2 on the list is Dungeon Shade. A sickness stirs in its eyes, a nightmare born in darkened Wales. That flavor text is a perfect description of Dungeon Shade. A floating head which looks a lot like those deep-sea anglerfish everyone's so frightened of. Jagged teeth, more pupilless eyes, well, eye anyway, and a nose that would give Voldemort a run for his money. This ghostly head reminds me a lot of last year's The Fallen, where it's just a creepy as hell face, and the longer you stare at it staring back at you, the more disturbing it gets, making it number 2 on my list. Number 1. And the winner of this year's most disturbing MTG card countdown goes to the fan favorite and tragically overlooked, Ad Nauseam. Last year I was berated with comments about why I didn't add this card onto my list. And the reason, of course, was that I wanted to make it the winner of this year's video. Ad Nauseam's a brilliantly creepy card, combining elements of gore, a tortured human figure, terrifying atmosphere, and pretty much everything else you'd see in a really good horror film. Just imagine opening a door to find this husk of a man looking back at you and screaming in agony, while its entire being is slowly fading away into nothingness. It's the epitome of disturbing, and it's this year's scariest Magic the Gathering card. And there you have it, folks, another top 10 of Magic the Gathering's scariest cards. Of course, this list was formulated from my own personal opinions, and people always get scared by different things. I want to know what you guys think about this list. What cards you liked, what cards you didn't, and what cards you think I missed. Let me know in the comments below. In any case, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, consider throwing it a like and sharing it with your friends. It goes a long way in supporting future content. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching and have a happy Halloween!